Hi, I'm Jay Jacobs, and welcome to another episode of Going Beyond the Scale. Today is Q&A Sunday, and if you read my post already, I had basically set up the idea that I'm looking to see if there are people that are out there that want to share the tale of their scale. It could be early days of when you learned about getting on a scale. It could be recent things that happen. It could be that what happens when you go to the doctor, or is there a particular way that you measure what you're doing if you're interested in changing your shape or size or weight or whatever. And part of the reason for that is that I'm in the process of creating a course that is all about going beyond the scale. And I'm also wanting to make sure that many people get an opportunity to share what their experiences are, mainly because of the fact that of all of the programs, whether they're exercise programs or eating programs or diet programs, whether you're vegan, whether you eat keto, paleo, Nutrisystem, Weight Watchers, XYZ, I think you would agree that the common link that probably messes most people up is you start, you get on a scale, you measure yourself, and at some point in time, what the scale says and what you're thinking it should be are two different things. And it very quickly can just spiral you into going downhill and just feeling like this is not worth it. The other thing that happens sometimes is when you use a scale, you might be doing well, and then you feel like, oh, I'm doing really well. And you kind of go like, let me just loosen up a little bit. So what's very interesting is you would think after all these years of people in this whole world of new diet books and new ways to eat and all this, whether or not you want to lose weight or you want to change your shape and size or whatever that is, to me, after having experienced this for decades and also experiencing, ironically, living and dying by the scale on Biggest Loser, I actually am committed to being somebody that is in a conversation with people to have them become free of a lot of the ideas and myths and things that really, I believe, of all the stuff that goes on, I think your scale is screwing yourself up more than anything else. The reason being is that if you're going to use a scale as a measurement for what you call success, but you don't understand why it does what it does, because the scale is not actually doing anything. Your body, your thinking, your body, and your actions or inactions are creating a number on a scale. So that's one part. The other part is, as we move into the area of more and more scales are now realizing that probably what will help people is understanding their body composition. That's a step in the right direction. But now, having done over 5,000 consults with people, what I've come to understand is that even if you know the numbers from a body composition perspective, if you don't understand what they mean and what it's doing based upon your own unique metabolic DNA, you're going to get thrown off as well. It just happens. So to me, one of the first things to do is to get people to start to share the tale of their scale, to be able to just go back and think about what are your experiences? What are the stories you're telling? What are the things that you're learning? Because I don't care who you are, I guarantee you at some point in time, you either felt elated over time with what you saw was happening on the scale, or you felt defeated when the scale didn't go in the direction you wanted. You gave up, you said, it's frustrating, I don't care, I don't need to care about it, not defined by the scale. Obviously, you're not defined by the scale. But that's no different than if you went to the doctor and you had a high blood pressure reading or a low blood pressure reading, or you had your cholesterol read, or you had your sugar read. Numbers matter. Numbers in your bank account matters. Numbers on your car matter. Unless you live in some world off the grid, let's face it, let's be honest with ourselves, numbers drive things in our lives. And whatever your relationship is with numbers, it's the kind of thing that you really want to understand what they mean for you. What does that look like? So to me, the first place to start is to tailor your scale, really getting clear about what that is, finding out that you're not the only one that probably has very similar feelings along that line. And the course that I'm creating, I will guarantee you is going to give you some freedom and empowerment and a very different view of what has, quite frankly, up to this point, probably caused you stress, anxiety, concern, worry, because I don't believe until we get that cleared up that any of us are going to be in a place where we really feel comfortable, we feel at peace with what we're doing, and we quite frankly have a better understanding of what's going on with the scale. The other thing that happens, having done lots of consults with people one-on-one in terms of their body composition, stress, seasonality, time of the year, just there's a sleep, there's a world of things that are affecting it. Our cortisol level, our stress hormones, our sleep patterns. So it's not just calories in, calories out. It's not just exercise. Quite frankly, a lot of times how we're eating, or when we're eating, or the kinds of things we're eating, and the kinds of ways that we're exercising. Whether people understand it or not, exercise is great, movement is great. It's also a stressor for our bodies. A lot of people aren't realizing that they're stressing their body if they're not also, in addition to working out, understanding the power of rest and restoration. So that's why I want to put a stake in the ground for why I'm asking people to start to share that with me and with others, because as I'm working on the course, as I'm working on the book, as I'm working on the documentary, your stories, your interactions are going to be the kind of things that are going to help others realize that they're not the only ones on that journey. Some of the things that you share may be a catalyst for somebody to make a change in what they're doing. So this is the first time I'm really bringing this up. It's something I've been working on for quite some time. I've been in an intense corporate side of working with companies on body composition for many associates. I've started doing it recently residentially. In fact, in the apartment building that I live in right now, we had over 24 people on Saturday from 9 till 3 o'clock, 15 minutes consultation, first time they ever stepped on an in-body scale, starting to get a baseline. And what I'm going to be doing is each month, they're going to be coming back. We're going to have people add to that. And what you're going to start to hear is some of the things that they're learning. So most of what I've been doing in the past 2 years has kind of been behind the scenes. I haven't really done tons of testimonials or really videos or people sharing that. That's going to change. So I'm going to be looking for people that are willing to open up and share that. And so that's what today was. If you have an interest in being in one of these conversations, if you have an interest in being on a Zoom chat by yourself or with others, or maybe family members, please let me know. And what we want you to do is go to shareit@jaylenjacobs.com and let me know, and we'll set up a time that works for you, because your input not only can help you and your family and friends, because they'll get to hear what you're talking about, I guarantee you what you're going to share as your story can help others as well. So I want to thank you guys very much for being here on this Q&A Sunday. That's really each Sunday. Sometimes I answer questions. Sometimes I will bring something up, which will hopefully spark something for you to think about. But that's where I'm at right now. I think this is a very important area that needs to be looked at, and your involvement, participation, and generosity of contribution will make a difference for people. You don't know who, but you will make a difference. So thank you for that. And I will be back again tomorrow on Motivation Monday. Until then, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you then. Thanks again. Bye-bye.